everyone. Welcome to Rotor Talk Live, Season 8, Episode 14, DJI Mavic 4 Pro Leaks and Pics. Hope everyone is doing well this evening. We're going to talk about the South Florida Drone Meetup here in just a little bit. We're going to go ahead and welcome everybody. Let's see, got a great crowd here for Tuesday. All right, Akarasho, Josh is here. Jody, Drone Shots. Let's see who else we got. CT Pirate. Let's see who else. Waypoint New England. Trini, welcome, Trini. Thanks for stopping by tonight. Art's here. Welcome, Art. Let's see who else we got. John from Australia. Congratulations. Thank you for stopping by. Lauren, welcome. And John Flynn, welcome, John. Let's see who else. Lauren is here. Drone Guy 42 Adventures is here. And okay, all right. Got a full house in here tonight. My partner in crime is in her jammies. Otherwise, I'd have her here right now telling you exactly what we did today. Most of you know we didn't get to the South Florida Drone Meetup because Valerie suffered an episode from vertigo. So today we found, or we went to, and I went with her to an ear, nose, and throat specialist here in the Tampa area. And the guy was absolutely fantastic. One of the best doctors I've really ever come across. And he explained everything very thoroughly. And one of the things that we're going to do going forward is he gave her a recommendation to get vestibular rehabilitation therapy. And it will basically teach Valerie and me, I'm going to go to a couple of them, not only to do the Epley maneuver, but know frequency, time of day, all that kind of good stuff. And he strongly recommended it. And there's a couple of locations close to it. Now I asked him, I said, about the physical therapy, the place that I went to, it's called Florida Orthopedic when I broke my hand. And he said, no, that's probably not a good place because, they're more oriented to joints and bones kind of physical therapy versus, this is different. It's vestibular rehabilitation therapy. And he actually did a session with Valerie in the chair today, which was real interesting. When Valerie had tried to do this on her own, she felt very nauseated, very dizzy and everything. He was very controlled. He was very caring, took his time because you're supposed to have a gap between, moving from position to position kind of a thing. And she did feel somewhat better afterwards, but they did find the side that it's on, which is good. He did do something that you can tell what side that this is on. So Ray Kelly, good. Glad you're here tonight, Ray. Hope you're feeling better. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. So what he did was he positioned her and he could tell where those crystals are. Now, what crystals are, if you don't know this, they break off. These are little fragments of the bone, up in your ear that break off. They're super small. And sometimes when you have a lot of these episodes, what happens is several of the fragments have broken off. And the idea is to get your head realigned, to push those crystals back to where they need to be. That's the whole gist of all this. So for the time being, I'm going to continue to drive. Valerie works from home, so there's no issue there as far as that's concerned. So all in all, we're getting there. She feels a lot better. He was very good in terms of also prescribing. He prescribed a real good anti-nausea medication for her, which was good, and some things to relax as well too, which was fantastic. He was very answered all our questions today, very open, didn't rush us through, took his time with Valerie. I was very impressed with him. They're a very busy practice, and we went to a satellite office of theirs, and it was pretty packed. Their main office is always very packed, but it's like 15 miles away. So we did one close to us, and it worked really well. And if I have any issues, I suffer from, you're hearing my whole family medical history right now, but anyway, I suffer from eustachian tube dysfunction. One of my eustachian tubes is shorter than the others. It has a tendency to back up fluid and hence give me ear infections. Well, lately, knock on wood, it's been a lot better. Believe it or not, since we moved to where we're at. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not. But all in all, Val's on the mend. And I want to personally want to thank, there's several people out there, and I'm not going to call you guys out by name, but I really want to thank you guys for your above and beyond follow up with me, like on Messenger and texting me and emails. I can't thank you enough. Valerie can't thank you enough for that. That really means a lot to us. It was very difficult for us not to go down to the South Florida Drone Meetup, okay? Because I really wanted to see all you guys. That, bar none, absolutely, positively, bar none. But first of all, I'll say this: our thoughts and prayers are with you, Ray, for speedy recovery. Ray has COVID-19. Wow, okay. South Florida Drone Meetup, COVID-19. Yeah, that's like oil and water. That kind of stuff doesn't mix. But we just hope that you have a quick recovery from that. That you can get medication for it and get better soon. That's absolutely paramount and in our in our thoughts and prayers. From what I understand, there were 125 down at the South Florida Drone Meetup, which I thought was absolutely fantastic. What a great show that we had down there. And it looks like, and I got to see, and I don't know, and if somebody who was in there, maybe Josh or somebody who was there, who won the grand prize, I didn't recognize him. So if you could put that down there, congratulations to him. That's fantastic, winning the Air 3S, which was, I think, Jeremy Alms donated it, and congratulations. Yes, James, he was there, and so was Ron. Because I didn't recognize the gentleman that won that. So if somebody could drop that in the comments, that would be absolutely awesome. I know Josh was there, and he really enjoyed it. And he, like I said, there's so many people that we wanted to see there, and just, it just, yeah, it's just one of those things. And now next year, from what Ray has told me, and I think Ron, the drone meetup is going to be a week later, I believe, because of Easter, where Easter falls next year. I think Easter falls the first weekend of April next year, so that's not going to work out for the meetup. So the meetup's going to be a week back. So, oh, that's okay, Josh. That's okay. Don't worry about that. If somebody else who was at the meetup, or if somebody else was at the meetup is watching and can drop who won the Air 3S, I'm just curious as to who the gentleman was, and I'd like to acknowledge that. That's all. From all the pictures, and great pictures, Ray. I know you took a lot of pictures, and a lot of people took great pictures. I went out there. I looked at them all. They were fantastic. Looks like everybody just had a lot of fun and a good time. And also, too, at the meet and greet on Friday night as well. Didn't really see anything from Sunday. I know you guys, some of the guys went flying on Sunday as well, too. But hope that turned out well. And for all those who are still traveling back, I know Ron and his wife are still traveling back. Not so much. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Marcus is back or not yet. But we wish everyone safe travels back. Angel. Okay, Johnny. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I just saw that. I bet you do, Josh. I bet you got a lot of pics. So. Oh, okay. Thank you, Ray. I appreciate that. Thank you for posting that. And congratulations to Ken. That was a Ken Gottlieb winning the DJI Air 3S. That's an absolutely fantastic prize to own. And I know just from everything I've seen, pictures and some of the videos I've seen and everything, everybody had a great time, and that's fantastic. Although I think from what I saw, it was kind of windy that day, so that kind of puts a little bit of a kibosh on flying, which neither here nor there. But Mark Fisher, I don't know if you're watching or not, but that was a great big portrait, great portrait that you took of everybody, on the side right there. That was fantastic. You did a great job with that. So all in all, it looks like it was a fantastic time. Everybody had a good time. And for those of you that are still traveling back, like I said, Ron, Susan, others that are driving back home, safe travels, be safe, take your time, no rush, and be careful in the Midwest because there's still a lot of weather going on. So thank you, Ray. I appreciate your posting that. And our thoughts and prayers are with you. Josh, I bet you did. I bet you absolutely had a great weekend. Well, Friday night, at Stewart at the bowling and billiards place is fantastic. That's a wonderful place for a meet and greet. That is absolutely perfect for that. And looks like from the pictures, everybody had a good time there. And it really tears me apart. It was difficult, but it was also easy at the same time because obviously my number one priority is Valerie. And I got to share this, and we'll get into drone stuff here in a minute. But one of the things I want to say is Valerie just effused her praise for how well I took care of her, and I told her, I said, you know what, being married to you is the best thing in the world. You are the best thing in the world. You're the best thing that's ever happened to me. And you should have seen the great care she took care of me when I broke my hand. Okay. Because I need, getting showers and stuff, I needed to get a bag on it because it was in a cast and it just, she was there for me all the time with that. And I cannot say enough about how just what the exceptional care she did in taking care of me. I was able to do a lot of things. I could kind of sort of grip some things with it, but it was, but I was very dependent upon her for a lot of things, and she just did a boatload of stuff for me, and and I said that's what I'm here for. One of my greatest pleasures in life is serving others and doing other things. So, oh, that's great. That's great, Ray. Thank you for that. If you want to go ahead and post that out on Bill the Drone Reviewer, that would be absolutely fantastic. Anything, Ray, you want to post out there from the meetup, please do. That would be absolutely wonderful. Mark, welcome. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by today. So yeah, okay. All right. We do have drone stuff to talk about tonight, believe it or not. Ron will join me next week, of course. As you know, last night there was no Drone Nation, so this is really the official kickoff of the week for the drone shows. So there you go. Okay, I feel honored to have the lead here, and we got a lot to talk about the Mavic 4 Pro. That's going to come up at the bottom of the hour here, but yeah, absolutely got a lot to talk about. I know a lot of people are. Let's go ahead, and there's several articles that we're going to go over here that I thought were pretty good. Now the first one, it's interesting here. As everybody knows, the Inspire 3 is really a professional level type drone. Well, it looks like Netflix. Its Inspire 3 drone is now officially approved by Netflix for use in 4K originals. So, what makes it Netflix worthy? Stunning 8K resolution using Cinema DNG or Apple ProRes RAW formats. At the heart of the Inspire 3 imaging capabilities, DJI CineCore 3.0 processing system and the DJI CineColor system. Together, they have filmmakers capture natural skin tones, rich cityscapes, and subtle lighting variations, all crucial for creating high-end visual content that passes Netflix post-production tests. So there you go here. I think that's absolutely fantastic. That's a great thing. Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that here in a little bit, Zach. So that's where things are with that. I think that was absolutely fantastic. Now we have several things here, and I found several articles about DJI and the federal government, and I want to spend a few minutes and go over these because there's been a lot of talk about stuff going on and everything. Now the first article, and these articles I post them. Most of these articles are on Bill the Drone Reviewer Facebook group, but a lot of things, and I really strove to get a lot of things out on Bill the Drone Reviewer Facebook page as well too. So just to let you guys know that. So let's go ahead, and now this article is entitled DJI Challenges U.S. Security Agencies in NDAA Deadline Push. DJI has formally requested 5 U.S. national security agencies to evaluate its products ahead of a critical December 31st, 2025 deadline established by the NDAA Act provisions. In a letter sent to the Department of Homeland Security and Department of Defense, FBI, NSA, Office of Director of National Intelligence, DJI's head of global policy, Adam Welsh, urged the agencies to begin their required security evaluations immediately. The letter dated March 3rd was addressed to, and it says it right here. The letter comes as DJI faces potential restrictions in the U.S. market if any of the agencies determine their products pose an unacceptable risk to national security. More concerning, if no evaluation occurs by the deadline, the FCC would automatically add DJI's equipment to its covered list, effectively restricting their use across the U.S., according to the company's interpretation of Section 1709 of the 2025 NDAA. Okay. We welcome this scrutiny, Welch said in the letter. DJI's confidence products can withstand your strictest scrutiny. The company emphasized the evaluation's outcome affects thousands of businesses, consumers, and public safety agencies that rely on the technology here. Okay. Now we're going to move on. There's another article here that I wanted to show you, and it's still in this light here. Now this is from Petapixel, and it's the same kind of tone right here. DJI urges U.S. government to start the mandated security audit of its businesses here, and the idea behind them putting this pressure on them right now is so this doesn't automatically become law and DJI drones are banned. They want them to go out there and do this, and this is kind of like I forget the terminology for when a president doesn't want to sign a bill, but yet in so many days it'll become law. I forget what that's called. You guys maybe can drop that in the chat. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but if you guys know what I'm talking about, and this is kind of what this is kind of the I'm looking for the right words. This is what they're trying to prevent, that this automatically becomes law or goes into effect, thereby really kind of banning DJI drones. So that's something I think it's good that they're on top of that. Now, what else is real interesting here? There's another article that DJI came out with, and let's see if I can go ahead and get that shared. All right, let's. Okay, here we go. Did DJI to U.S. ban our drones with evidence, not fear-mongering? DJI's message to the U.S.: we have nothing to hide. DJI isn't just responding to scrutiny, it's actively seeking it. In a letter written by Adam Walsh, it talks about this again. DJI is confident products can withstand your strictest scrutiny. The people who have built livelihoods using DJI products deserve a fair and timely evaluation to lift the cloud on our company and reassure DJI's customers, American public, that DJI drones are safe and secure. If you determine that DJI's drone poses an unacceptable risk, the FCC must add them to the covered list, Welch explains. If you do not evaluate DJI's products in 2025, the FCC would also have to add the company's equipment to its covered list, depriving DJI of due process and depriving thousands of businesses, consumers, and public safety agencies of products that they want and need for no reason at all. In December 24th, Congress passed the FY 2025 NDAA. The agencies include Department of Homeland Security, Department of Defense, the FBI, the NSA, and the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. And what a DJI drone ban means for U.S. pilots: a ban would mean no new DJI drones can be sold in the U.S. Existing DJI drones might lose access to software updates. Companies and government agencies relying on DJI for operations may need costly replacements. In short, thousands of pilots, businesses, and public agencies could be forced to stop using DJI drones, not because of proven security risk, but because of government inaction. And that is sure to have a ripple effect throughout the entire U.S. drone ecosystem. Let's not forget DJI enables more than $116 billion in economic activity across the U.S. and supports more than 450,000 jobs. That's a lot of jobs here, okay? And DJI has a very proactive stance with this. Here's some examples of these measures. Users can fly offline or in local data mode. No flight logs, images, or videos are synced with DJI servers unless a user affirmably chooses to sync with a DJI server. U.S. users cannot sync their flight records to DJI servers at all. Users can amend their data preferences at any time to the app settings, okay? And this is an excellent article, and I invite you guys to go ahead and read this at your leisure, but I think it's important to kind of get a grasp and to understand what all is going on right now, because you see a lot of drone reviewers will get out there and, sky is falling, look out, all this kind of stuff. Read these articles, okay? Do your own evaluation, because a lot of them are putting clickbait stuff out there. I don't do clickbait, as much to the chagrin of quite a few people who said that I do that with a lot of my drone tests and things. Okay, I don't do clickbait. All right, I'm on the up and up. I've always been on the up and up as far as videos are concerned. So read those articles. Stay informed. Stay on top of that. Okay, knowledge is power. My beautiful wife, that's one of her pet sayings. Knowledge is power. And understand, we get this to work to our advantage. And, I'm hoping that that these agencies will take a look at it and will decide that it does not pose a threat. I think we'll be okay. And I think one of the other things is we talked about last week. I do have a couple more things to go over before we talk about the Mavic 4 Pro. As I went over last week, I really think what's going to happen here, I think we're going to see DJI build a plant here in the United States, employ United States workers, United States citizens, and sell its drones here, manufacture and sell them here. And I think all this is going to go away. I really do. Okay, including tariffs, the whole 9 yards, the whole shebang. Okay. All right. So that's my 3 cents worth on all that. Okay. Let's see here. Now, as many of you know, and I know Johnny will like this here. The Falcon Mini V-shaped drone debuts at $199 for early backers. All right. It is under 249 grams. It weighs under 250 grams. No FAA registration is required for it. Early adopters were able to get it for $199. That got sold out very quickly. Despite its compact size, the Falcon Mini is packed with powerhouse specs: 4K camera with a 3-axis gimbal, reverse flight kit. Ever wanted to fly a drone backwards with the same precision as forward? Now you can, unlocking never before seen aerial maneuvers. That's pretty cool. Vertical shooting for social media. Perfect for TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts. Night mode for low city clarity. Shoot stunning videos even after sunset with optimized night capture settings. 6x zoom. Get close up to the action without sacrificing image quality. Ideal for capturing distant subjects with incredible detail. Ultra quiet rotors. Unlike noisy quadcopters, this bicopter design keeps things discreet, making it ideal for captured footage in quiet scenic locations. Okay. It lists some of the specs here. Again, this article is posted on Build a Drone Reviewer Facebook group and page, so you guys can take a look at all the specs here. Now, if you're head over to Indiegogo and secure the best deal before it's gone. Now, I believe it's probably about $299 right now. I'm not 100% sure, so we'll find out. I don't know. So we'll see here. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you, Ray. Thank you for posting that. That's great to know. So if you guys are interested in something like this, definitely you want to take advantage of it. I know Johnny has really enjoyed his. He gets a lot of grief from a lot of people about it, but Johnny really enjoys his, and he does a great job flying it and has had some great videos on it. And I think the Achilles heel of that one was it took so long to come out. The camera technology was outdated by the time it actually debuted, but the ability to fly it and the way it flies, I think it makes it a good choice. It's something to keep in mind. So, and at that kind of price, it's under 249 grams, 250 grams. So definitely that's something you want to take a look at. I bet you like that, Josh. I mean, it's something to really see that operate and work in person. And like I said, had that had a more up-to-date camera, the original V-copter, yeah, I think it would have sold really well. But we're going to see how things pan out with that. So stay tuned for that. I'm looking forward to seeing how that happens here. Okay, it's Mavic 4 Pro time. Now, our leakers did not disappoint this week. Okay, there is a lot of information to get out there and to share it with you. Now, one of the more exciting ones for me is the DJI RC Pro 2 to feature a 7-inch extendable touchscreen and new controls. Now, I'm going to kind of stop right here. You can see right here, there's a knob right here, and it's to anyone's guess as to what that might control, whether fine movements of the gimbal or zooming or who knows what. But as it sits, that tablet or the screen will fold down on top of that, which is nice. However, you got to take the joysticks off. There's no way around that. So the joysticks have to come off when you pull it down. But it's nice that it has a compact design. Igor shared the first photos of the RC Pro 2 alongside combo photos of the Mavic 4 Pro. The RC Pro 2 will be drastically different from what we've been accustomed to in recent years. The 7-inch touchscreen will extend up and away from the body of the controller, similar to what the Phantom controllers have, but obviously less dated. Folding it down will allow the controller to fold up nicely for storage. Alongside the new screen, the RC Pro 2 will feature a new dial control that I just talked about, as many folks puzzled as to what it could do. What would make the most sense is the ability to roll the camera, a feature Jasper Ellens leaked a few weeks ago. However, I'm hoping it can be reprogrammed to control aperture or shutter speed. Maybe even new electronic ND filter can be controlled by it. We're going to talk about that here in a minute, all right, about the ND filter, okay? Sounds like the Mavic 4 Pro will come in these 3 combos, according to Jasper Ellens. Standard combo with the RC2 for $2,250. Plymar combo with the RC2 and 2 batteries for $3,200. Creator combo with the RC Pro 2 and 2 batteries for $4,000. These are still rumors and they'll still even be higher end Mavic 4 Cine. However, we've yet to see any leaked images of the product, which lead me to believe that it might not actually be coming. Okay, so let's move on because there's definitely more to talk about regarding this here. All right. Okay. DJI Mavic 4 Pro's electronic ND filter will not be integrated. Okay, this is really kind of breaking news. This came out April the 1st. This isn't an April Fool's joke here. Okay. Unlike what we expected to see from our assumption electronic ND filters per a leaked Mavic 4 Pro store listing, the electronic filter coming from DJI will snap onto the front of the massive camera payload like previous models. This was one of the few first details seen in what will be one of many early release store listings for the Mavic 4 Pro. First reported by Drone XL, Jasper Ellens shares that the first store listing for the Mavic 4 Pro has hit. While DJI usually sends out ample information about embargo dates and release times, both large and small stores regularly spill the beans weeks before products are released. In the listing, Ellens shares an image of what is the Mavic 4 Pro's electronic ND filter. It has been previously reported the new flagship camera drone from DJI will gain this feature that was assumed to have been integrated into the camera payload. This would match the feature that is found in many cinema cameras. All right. However, the image clearly shows the filter replaces the front section of the payload bulb, similar to how ND filters work on the Mavic 3 Air, Air 3, and Mini 4 Pro. I didn't notice this before the Mavic 4 Pro leaked photos. You can clearly see the line around the front end of the camera payload for where it can be taken off. The stock front portion will likely then feature a UV filter to protect the more important front glass of the Mavic 4 Pro's 3 cameras. Listing also shared some pricing from the Mavic 4 Pro accessories, with the ND filter coming in at $220. Excuse me. However, these prices were converted from an undisclosed currency. As we know, looking even at just Canadian and American DJI stores, prices can differ wildly, and straight conversions are not perfect, so prices can be different. Although these from Ellens look pretty standard. The battery for 180, parallel charging hub for 100, propellers 19, propeller guard for 39, electronic ND filter for 220, 1-year care refresh for $225, 2-year care refresh for $365. It's likely to be able to obtain a non-electronic ND filter from companies like Fuller Pro or newer, either on release day or a few months afterwards. Allen states in his piece that the release could be weeks away, which checks out with ever-increasing leaks from multiple sources now, okay? We expect the drone to be released no earlier than the last full week of April, but that could change for any one of a number of reasons. Okay, all right. Let's go back here. So from what I'm hearing, this part of this is up here on the front is a snap-on. I'm not sure if it's if we're seeing it here in this picture or it's in some other leaks, but I wanted to let you guys know that's what we're hearing about that. So it's not like we were assuming some type of a software, you know, make a switch out on your Fly app, hit that, and the filter's applied kind of a thing. It's actually physical. It's actually something that you're going to have to put on the drone itself. And what the electronic portion means, I think that's kind of like TBD. I don't think we know enough about that. But I was very interested to see this article come out, and I wanted to make sure that we talked about this tonight because I think it's really important that everybody knows that, you know, it's not like what we were thinking. It's quite different from where we're at as far as that's concerned. That's a good question, Josh. That's a real good question. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Mark. Yeah, yeah. We'll see how all the tariff business you know, pans out. That is kind of TBD. I'm hearing there's going to be some negotiations on that favorably, and I think we may see the whole tariff business go away. But and again, that's not political. I just heard it through the grapevine that the EU is proposing back to President Trump zero tariffs in exchange for zero tariffs on EU goods. And I think that's probably going to happen. So, and I think this is going to kind of catch fire with everybody. So kind of stay tuned for that. But that's what we have on the filter. And I thought that was important enough. You know, I really wanted to spend a few minutes on that and talk about that. I thought that was very important there. Now, there's another article here, and let me see if I can go ahead. Okay, I'm going to bring that up. I'm sorry, I thought I had this article up, but I don't. So let me go ahead and get this up here. Now, as I said, there were more leaks here, and I wanted to get see what YouTube does, and it really kind of ticks me off. It changes to a thing on your group, and it's called relevant posts, and it doesn't always bring up everything that I've posted out there. And you know, that kind of, I wish they would kind of get their together here. So let's go ahead and slap that on here. There we go. Okay. All right. I finally found that article. Sorry about that. And yeah, YouTube kind of, or Facebook kind of ticks me off sometimes. Okay. Now, DJI Mavic 4 Pro leak frenzy. 7 new leaks, including video, in only 24 hours here. So let's take a look here and see. Been watching DJI rumors for a while. Okay. Man on a public bridge with a DJI Mavic 4 Pro. And there he is right there. First leak seen yesterday. A man in China is placing his Mavic 4 Pro on the ground and getting out his remote controller. Not a very interesting leak, but another sighting nonetheless here. All right. And there's a picture of it. He's landing it. A video screenshot of the Mavic 4 Pro landing. We just saw that. Second picture shared is a Mavic 4 seen landing in a city center. The auxiliary light, very bright, is on, and the propellers are still buzzing. Nothing crazy, but it's another image of a Mavic 4. Now, here's the controller, the actual controller, and what it looks like. And you can see, you know, it's going to be able to fold up on there, and that the sticks are going to need to come down there. That's oh, okay, Mark, okay. Close-up picture of the new RC Pro 2, and that's what we just saw right there. It's only 2 days since we saw the high definition product image, but today this better view of the new remote showed up, and it looks like DJI is going to be leveraging the foldable stick design they patented a couple years ago. So you don't, okay, the sticks are going to fold. So that's something new. I just found that out. So breaking news on that. So that's fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic news. Screen's up, antenna is down. So you see in this picture here, when the screen is up, the antenna is pointed down. And apparently that's how that goes. Another influencer on the streets wearing a mask, hiding his identity, but holding the remote in plain sight. How is this not intentional? DJI really is desperate to show the products to the world. I believe I'm showing you this. Almost don't even feel like a lake on the top. The 7-inch actually looks smaller here. That's what she said. Ha ha ha. Okay. But yeah, it does look kind of smaller compared to the person that is flying right there. But no, that's interesting that that's foldable. That's absolutely interesting. I did not know that. I absolutely did not know that here. Okay. DJI Mavic 4 Pro template promotional image number 1. That's a great image. Mavic 4 Pro filming blossom trees. How serene. I'm not even sure this photograph by a fan put on Chinese social media is actual leak template from a secret DJI promotional presentation. Anyway, nice leak. Who knows? But it looks nice. DJI Mavic 4 Pro template promotional image number 2 with some blossom trees and a nice cityscape in the background right there. It absolutely looks so much more at home in nature, if you ask me. Less security camera and more like big humble bee. Okay, there we go. Mavic 4 Pro promotional video leaked on Jasper Ellens. Another Mavic 4 Pro high quality image shared by Osita Lab, the original DJI leaker. Notice the camera is upside down when the gimbal is off in the bag in the background. All right. The longer I look at the drone, I see, okay, a puking frog. Am I the only one? I don't know. All right. Not sure what all that means, but okay. All right. That's what we have with that. Now, there is another article here that I wanted to go over with you. And again, some of these articles, they're all out on Build a Drone Reviewer Facebook group. Some are out on the page as well, too. So let's go ahead and share that as well. All right, DJI Mavic 4 Pro specs leak in new images. Flight performance claims 6 times better than Mavic 3 Pro. Wow, okay. That's a pretty bold claim. I don't know about that, guys. So let's take a look here and see. Newly leaked images from reliable drone insiders of C11 and Jasper Ellens reveal the upcoming Mavic 4 Pro alongside the RC2 controller. Claims from Chinese social media suggesting significantly improved flight performance compared to its predecessor. Okay, and as you can see right here, they're right. The camera is upside down, so evidently, you know, again, that talks about the 360 movement on the gimbal itself right here. Leaked photos show a more aerodynamic Mavic 4 Pro, the streamlined body design, thinner arms, and a drastically redesigned gimbal and tri-camera system. The drone features 2 visible obstacle avoidance sensors on the top side of the main body and an LED beacon for nighttime operations. Okay, you see all that right there. What you cannot see in these newly leaked photos is the forward-facing LiDAR or infrared obstacle avoidance sensor positioned in the front right arm, right below the props. The accompanying DJI RC2 controller features a built-in display showing the drone interface with full flight telemetry. And you can tell the camera's in the correct orientation right here. DJI continues to dominate the prosumer drone market with the Mavic series representing their flagship portable camera drones. The current Mavic 3 Pro, released in April 2023, features a triple camera system with a 4/3 CMOS Hasselblad primary camera and has established itself as a benchmark for portable high-end drones. Okay. The most striking claim in the leaked images comes from a caption stating the Mavic 4 Pro flies 6 times better than the Mavic 3 Pro. While this vague metric requires verification, it suggests DJI may have made significant advancements in flight stability, agility, maneuverability, or wind resistance. Current Mavic 3 Pro specifications include a maximum flight time of 43 minutes and a top speed of 47 miles per hour. Okay. Note that that part of the DJI RC tube display has been redacted, as well as information on the side of the drone in the same photo, indicating these images were purposely leaked by either DJI or one of its testers or reviewers. And you can see some of the redactions here as well. The improvements in aerodynamics and claims to significantly enhanced flight performance suggest DJI is focusing on extending flight times and improving overall stability rather than making dramatic changes to the camera system, which already offers professional level capabilities in the current model. We'll continue monitoring for additional leaks that might reveal complete flight specifications, including precise flight time, range, and camera details. So stay tuned for more. Wow, that's a ton of information here, and thank you guys for bearing with me here. That was a lot. That was a lot to go over. But there's some points here that I want to make. And if you're new to this, or you're not familiar with this, what's going to happen next? All right, you're going to see more of these kind of leaks come out over the next couple of weeks here, if the April 24th date is accurate, if it's to be correct. I would say probably next week, probably late next week, you might have that little teaser that DJI throws out there with the theme for this release. If it's going to be on the 24th, I would say we probably see something later next week on that. Would be my guess. Now, we would also see, in one of the other things that you're going to look for, and you'll see probably either Jasper or Igor will leak it, will be an actual box, and you'll probably have the box that has the specifications on it as well, so you can be able to look, not all of them, but what you see on the box, and that will really bring a lot more things into focus as far as that's concerned. So these are going to be coming up. So the closer that we get to the release, the more that you're going to be seeing things like that, and the more that you're going to be seeing some pictures of it out in the wild, some video of it out in the wild, versus these 5-second shots that you get, that kind of thing. You'll be seeing that'll be coming up more and more. So stay tuned for that. I expect probably later this week, maybe by the weekend, you'll probably start seeing some of the first box pictures, the actual box pictures of the Mavic 4 Pro. And also too, I don't know where the whole tariff thing is going, so I'm not even going to go there. People are up and down and everywhere about that. All I read recently was the EU has proposed a 0-for-0 tariffs, and I heard the Trump administration is strongly and seriously considering that, which is a good thing. Okay, buy goods at what they're priced, no tariffs on them. So, and I think other countries will follow suit as well too. So I think that's good news. I think that's what we're going to see. So I don't think that's going to affect this. If it does, I can tell you this. All right, and this is just my own personal opinion. I majored in business. I didn't major in economics, so I can't answer that myself. What I can say is, what I think is going to happen is that this is forcing other countries. The whole idea behind all this, and again, this is not political. Whole idea about this is fair and balanced trade between nations. That's what everybody wants, and that's the whole goal of this. And let's hope that it happens sooner rather than later, that it gets settled before the April 24th date, as far as that's concerned. And I think it will. I don't think we'll have a problem with that come April 24th. Stay tuned. I can't say for sure, but we'll see. Okay, as far as that's concerned. The other thing is this, and I talked about this last week, and I want to make sure you guys are on board with this and know what I'm talking about here. Is back in 2016, when the original Mavic Pro came out, all right, came out in October of 2016, DJI vastly underestimated its marketing. Okay, it sold out, I mean, within hours. And they had so much backlog of orders, it took them 6 months to fulfill them. I mean, because it was the first folding drone. It was quiet. It did everything. It was compact. It was just everybody fell in love with it instantly. All right. Well, I bought mine in January. I got it overnight, it was in stock, which was great. But the idea, behind what they learned their lesson from this. And what they did was they built distribution centers in the United States. There's one in California, there's one in Chicago, there's one in New Jersey, and I know there's one in Atlanta. All right. So what I'm surmising is now that we saw the Air 3S being able to be purchased out on DJI's website and the Mini 4 Pro, that bodes real well for what I'm about to say. I think that DJI has gotten product over in the United States already. The Mavic 4 Pro is sitting in these warehouses in these different cities. And I think when you order it, it's going to be available immediately. I think you'll have a 1 to 2 day wait for shipping. Okay, this is just what am I basing this on? Previous history, and also, you know, now that the Air 3S and the Mini 4 Pro are available, it will, you know, I think that's a good thing, and I think it's going to bode well for them having inventory here, and that's a win for us, because that means we won't have to wait 1 or 2 weeks, you know, after ordering it to get it, that it will be here right away. So you Josh, you might be right. Yeah, you fully might be right. It could be sitting out on ships waiting to come into the United States. And what happens is when DJI sends these in, versus there's two ways. When you're ordering drones piecemeal, like one at a time from Shenzhen, okay, it has to go through customs, and has to get inspected. And, you know, I know people have had issues with customs and everything. But when you send them in a pallet, all they do is they scan. There's one barcode that they scan for the whole pallet. There's 100 or 1,000 drones in there. I have no idea how many drones are in there, but it's a much simpler process when they're in pallets like that, okay? Because the whole shipment gets approved, and then it gets sent over here. All right. So that's kind of how that works. So stay tuned. I think it's going to bode favorably. I think it's going to do well. Interest has really been kind of picked up in the Mavic 4 Pro, almost as much as I saw it when the Mavic 3 came out and the Mavic 3 Pro came out. So stay tuned. I really kind of think we're gonna see some things coming up here shortly with this. Like I said, I think next week we'll probably finally see some, or maybe even later this week, some actual boxes with specifications on that already here in the United States. Who knows? Maybe they're already here. I don't know. But, you know, Igor and Jasper will, you know, be watching their Twitter, okay? Because that's where they're first reporting them. Yeah, Fly Guy Merrill. Yeah, your piggy banks, regardless of tariffs. I'm not going to talk about tariffs again. All right, I'm done with the tariff talk. But regardless of that, $4,400 is a good chunk of change for a, you know, I'll say prosumer, but it, you know, type of drone. But realize something with this, and this is something I tried to prepare people for the sticker shock when we went from the Mavic 2 to the Mavic 3. And I told people there's going to be a sticker shock, and there wasn't a great one, but it was. And people are just like, oh, it's too much. And I said, look, you understand something, all right? The technology that you ran the Mavic 2, look how much it's improved in the Mavic 3, all right? You know, and same, the technology in the Mavic 3, look how much it's going to improve in the Mavic 4, all right? And that's what I go by. And these price justifications, I think, and what we saw for the accessories and everything, I think it's very fair. And I think also too, they developed that new RC Pro 2 controller. And again, you know, they have to offset their research and development costs and coming up with a totally new type of design, which I think is great. I think they did a great job with that. For me, I'm hoping personally what I'm planning on doing, I'm going to get the Mavic 4 Pro. I'd like to get just the base unit, but what I'd like to do is be able to buy the RC Pro 2 a la carte, but I don't think that's going to have to happen. So I got to swallow a really large pill and probably get the big one here. So that's, yeah, and you know, get the creator combo, as they call it. So we'll see about that. And I'm also curious to find out too, what's going to happen as far as this electronic ND filter, why it was called electronic in the first place. It looks like just a manual one. I don't know why they used the terminology electronic. It's kind of, I don't want to say it's a misnomer, but it kind of is sort of a misnomer. Okay, if that's yeah, the Cine was a sticker shock, Jim. It really was. I agree with you. I agree with you with that. So we'll see. We'll see how all this bears out. So stay tuned. You know, we get any kind of news, I'll get that out there. Be watching, not only watching Build a Drone Review Facebook group and page. I do have a Mavic 4 Pro group out there. So there's only 40 people join that group. Okay. And if you follow me out on Twitter, I'm trying to keep up to date on Twitter as well too. So, you know, I'm keeping my ear to the ground. I hear anything, I will let you guys know. I'll get something out there about that. So stay tuned. It's exciting. You know, we got a release coming up. It's coming around the corner. Again, that's pretty much it for the show for tonight. One of the things I want, you know, I'm glad it sounded like everybody had a great time at the meetup. One of my thoughts on, again, you know, I can't really comment on that, John, on Chinese imports. Okay. You know, I know what they're trying to do is trying to get things balanced. Okay. And they're trying to do fair trade, because a lot of what we have seen, and again, this is not political, what I'm going to tell you here is, you know, it's been pretty unbalanced in terms of the tariff. China has really taken advantage of us here, and I think what we're looking to get is a level playing field across the world. All right, this country's lost out on a lot of money, and I think we're trying to get in the direction of getting that money back here. That's my 2 cents worth on that. It's not political. It's just a benefit to benefit us and to benefit Americans. Okay, looking for favorable trade across the world for us. That's what the goal is. So, and let's hope this will all be a foregone conclusion in another month, and we'll be done. We'll be done about that. So, okay, guys, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I have for tonight. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you for a great chat tonight, and everybody in the chat. And again, I want to really specifically want to thank those of you who touched base with me to check in on Valerie. I just really appreciate you guys so much. Really, I can't thank you enough for that. And you know, we're going to get her vestibular rehabilitational therapy, and we're going to get this nipped in the bud. We're going to get it taken care of, get her back to as normal as possible, which she's not. When she starts driving me crazy, I know she's fine. So, and she's getting there. She's starting to drive me a little crazy. So that's always a good thing in my book. So, that's it. Okay. Ron will be back next week. You know, barring any unforeseen circumstances. So he'll be joining me. So you won't just have to put up with me for an hour. So, and yeah. Okay, Mark. That's good. That's good. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much. So that's kind of where things are. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Stay tuned to Build a Drone Review Facebook group page, out on Twitter, and even Instagram. I do post out on there as well. So make sure you follow me, all those places. You know, any kind of updates, I'm going to get them out there. I'm going to get them posted so you guys know about it, and we'll talk about them next Tuesday. I'm going to keep my ear to the ground. I hear anything, I'll let you guys know. As always, guys, it's a great day to fly. Take care. Have a great rest of your evening and a great week.